Be sure to subscribe for more content.
What is up, ladies and gents? Welcome to the BigBC Finance Channel, and I hope you're having a very lovely day. So in today's video, we're going to be talking all about Dogecoin, what has happened to it recently, and where we think the price is going to go to in the near future, as well as discussing whether we're going to see a Santa rally here on Dogecoin or not. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. And of course, if you appreciate the daily analysis on this channel, if you haven't done so already, be sure to smash the subscribe button for more content like this. So with that being said, let's get straight into this video and let's get those annotations here back on the screen, and things are actually starting to look pretty green here on Dogecoin. So what we've noticed in its recent past, before we make a price prediction here on Dogecoin, so in its recent past, we've seen Dogecoin literally bottom out at almost exactly the same level as it's bottomed out the previous two times. We came down to this level on November the 9th, pretty much hitting this 7.1 cent support level here. We came down to the exact same location in the 21st of November, and now just a few days ago we came down to pretty much exactly the same level. Of course, we came to touch it one time, we came a little bit below this second time in this region here, and now we've come to test this support once again as recently as the 21st of December. So we have an extremely reliable support line here on Dogecoin. Basically, we found a level that buyers are willing to buy Dogecoin price whatever the conditions. So of course, that's a really good sign, since this level is still well above the price of Dogecoin before Elon bought Twitter, 20% above to be exact. So that is really amazing to see that we're holding this level up pretty well, of course. And what we've also seen as well is prices break through this purple trend line as well. This purple trend line, a very important one here on Dogecoin, because it's basically been guiding this price in this bearish trend now throughout most of December. So you can see prices have been heading in this downwards direction, and this purple trend line has been the resistance for the price on its journey down. So you can see prices come up to test this purple resistance on numerous occasions throughout December, and finally just a few days ago we've seen the Dogecoin price peep above it on an increase in volume, as you can see down here, and we can see large green candles take the prices through this trend line, meaning that we're seeing quite a convincing trend line break. And the implication of this means that we could be seeing some sort of change of trend. We've been going in this downwards trend, and now we've broken this trend line. We could start in an upwards direction. This is exactly what we saw in this region here as well. We've seen some sort of downwards trend, and as soon as we're able to break through that trend line, Dogecoin started its journey up all the way ultimately to around 11 cents. So this is the kind of implication that we could be seeing here on Dogecoin with this trend line break here. In addition to that as well, let me show you the MACD indicator. So if I go on the MACD, what we have seen over the past few days on Dogecoin is a hidden divergence, and a hidden divergence is actually pretty bullish, because what we see here on the price of Dogecoin is if we connect the lows of the price in this region here, the trend line is going in a downwards direction. But for the momentum on the MACD, if we connect the lows on the MACD line here, we see the trend line is going in an upwards direction. So if you have a look at the price, the trend line going in a downwards direction, but the same trend line connecting the same time frame on the MACD is going in an upwards direction. This is a divergence, and this shows potential weakness. It shows that sellers are running out here on Dogecoin. We're seeing the momentum get less bearish, even though the price is getting more bearish, meaning that we could see a change of trend in the near future. So not only do we see this trend line break here on Dogecoin by the price, we also see a hidden divergence between the MACD and the Dogecoin price, adding further evidence that we are seeing this change of trend here on Dogecoin from bearish to bullish. So great stuff in that respect. Now, in terms of some sort of price prediction on Dogecoin, what I'm really looking at the moment is some sort of chart pattern that looks a little bit like this. This is going to guide us and tell us where the price is going to go in the future, because I do think we've got a support trend line looking like this one. As you can see, encompasses the price data extremely well in this area here, and we've got a resistance at the moment by just connecting the tops of the price since the 18th of December, where you can see the price has tested it on numerous occasions now. And so from this support in pink, from this resistance also in pink, we get a triangle structure here on Dogecoin. So what we would expect if prices continue to consolidate a little bit like this in the triangle is for a large price move to come from this. And of course, a chart pattern is another good sign of a trend reversal. A chart pattern can indicate at a continuation of the trend or a trend reversal. And in the case of a triangle, if we break to the upside, that would be a trend reversal confirmed, in my opinion. That would be the third piece of evidence needed to show us that we're going to go in a more upwards. So what I want to see, if prices do head above this resistance here, so at the moment that's at about 7.8 cents. If prices head above this resistance, we want to see an increase in volume, an increase in momentum in the upwards direction, so we can gauge the momentum by looking at the size of the candles. We want to see large green candles, and we want to see an increase in volume down here, so the volume do something like this. And of course, a price target from a triangle of this size would be the first test of support and resistance, the distance between them. We just drag the measuring tool to wherever the breakout is, and we get a price target of 8.8 cents from that. And of course, that is a 12% pump if we see some sort of breakout. So a very nice trade if you can catch it. Of course, it doesn't have to be in one swift motion, but we could see, the price do this over the course of the next several days into Christmas, where the prices of Dogecoin get to a price target of 8.8 cents. So this is what would happen if we do see the prices break to the upside. Of course, if that does happen, that is a trend reversal confirmed for me, and then I'd be looking at Dogecoin to respect some sort of trend line going in an upwards direction, kind of like this. Of course, in this instance here, in the past, for example, we can draw a very, very similar trend line, kind of looking like this, that encompasses the bottoms of the price as it was heading in a very bullish direction like this. So if we do see a breakout to the upside of this triangle, I'd be looking for a similar upwards trend line. And of course, as long as we can keep that trend line, then the price of Dogecoin could definitely get higher than 8.8 cents. But 8.8 cents is just the price target from a structure, from a triangle that looks like this one here. So that's what I'm looking out for on the shorter term here on Dogecoin. And so everything on Dogecoin right now is looking pretty good to go in this upwards direction. But even if we do break down from this triangle, say prices do something like this and start heading in the downwards direction like this, which is totally possible because a triangle indicates that there is a large breakout, but it doesn't say which direction it's going to go in, then I would expect the bottom of this price move to be at our support here, the 7.1 cents region, because since it's been so well respected in the past, I don't expect prices to go below this level. So let's say the prices did get down to this region, that kind of makes the downside risk at around 8% in my opinion. That's like the lowest the price could go from this level. So if you're looking to buy longer term into Dogecoin as well, at this point, I do not think it's too bad whatsoever, considering the downside risk is 8%, but the upside reward could be much, much higher than that. So those are kind of my thoughts here on the shorter term on Dogecoin. Of course, I'm just kind of looking at what the whole cryptocurrency market is doing as well. If Bitcoin makes a major move, if the stock market makes a major move as well, then the chances are we're going to see that reflected in Dogecoin to at least some capacity. So it's always good to see what Bitcoin is doing and doing the analysis on what we could expect to see in the near future. And so what I'm noticing here on Bitcoin at the moment is some sort of falling wedge pattern. This is a longer term pattern here on Bitcoin, but basically this is something that I've noticed quite recently, and if this were to play out, this would actually be quite a bullish thing, because if you see my previous videos, I have been quite bearish here on Bitcoin because of this rising wedge pattern on the shorter term. And even if that does continue to play out, that would still work within the confines of this falling wedge pattern that we see forming here on the longer term on Bitcoin. And of course, chart patterns are not perfect, but I'm going to be keeping my eye on this, because if this does end up playing out, this would be massive, not just for Bitcoin, but for pretty much every single crypto out there. And of course, the reason for that is because if we measure the distance between the first test of support down here, the first test of resistance, this becomes the price target of any breakout from this falling wedge. And if we do see that play out, that is an 82% pump in the upwards direction. That would take Bitcoin's price to 32,000. Now, of course, it won't be one swift motion. It won't do this, for example. We would see something probably looking a little bit like this, where we gradually make our way up and up and up to that ultimate price target over the course of several weeks and several months. But if we do see a decisive breakout through this trend line here, this is what we want to see on Bitcoin. If the prices do get up to this purple line here and we see large momentum take prices well above this purple this purple resistance here, then that could be a breakout from a long-term falling wedge, and that could really drive the trend on Bitcoin from a very long-term bearish pattern into a much more bullish one coming into 2023. So of course, if that does happen, that's going to be very, very bullish for Dogecoin, to say the very least here. And of course, with that being said, that's pretty much what I'm watching out for on Dogecoin. And of course, just to summarize everything, basically on the shorter term, I'm watching for this triangle pattern with this as a resistance, this as a support, and if we do see a breakout to the upside, that is an 8.8% price target. And I'd be looking, if we do get there, for Dogecoin to respect some sort of support line that looks like this going in an upwards direction, of course. And I'd expect that 8.8 cents to be hit over the course of the next few days here on Dogecoin going into Christmas. If we do see a breakdown from this triangle, I do expect the bottom target to be 7.1 cents. And on top of that, I'm just watching out for any other indicators that could tell us that we can expect more bullish behavior here on Dogecoin, or if we could see a change of trend in the future. So, and with that being said, that's all I have to say in this video. So thank you so much for watching. And of course, I want to take this time as well to say thank you for your support of this channel, each and every single one of you. If it wasn't for you guys, this channel would be nothing. So again, thank you so much for being here. I do wish you happy holidays, and if you do celebrate it, have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Of course, over the next few days, I will not be making any videos, so if I do see any moves such as the ones I've described on this video, I will be updating my trading views. So be sure to follow me on there for any updates on Dogecoin. The link is in the description below. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much again, and I'll see you in my next video.